Welcome back to Umineko. We continue episode 2 with a brand new location here. Some sort of school festival. We left off with Shannon making good friends with Beatrice, and then Cannon coming along and being pretty suspicious of her. Followed by Cannon seeing Beatrice hanging around Kinzo. Kinzo, of course, unable to see her, but we're seeing that maybe Kinzo is maybe misunderstanding the situation with Beatrice, and that she perhaps would show herself to Kinzo if she could, which is pretty sad. But yeah, I assume this might be transferring over into something Jessica related. With might be, considering it looks like a school festival or something of the type. So let's see what we are here for. The biggest fall event for the Yoshidamiya family was the family conference in October. But to Jessica, there was another major event that came before that, the school cultural festival. Yep, Jessica liked school. To her, it was a place where she could let out the stress she'd built up from the rigid lifestyle she was forced to lead at home. Yeah, I mean, being stuck on that island most of the time with nothing but servants and your parents and your grandfather, whose mental state is slowly deteriorating, or quickly deteriorating. I imagine this sort of feels like an escape. For today's cultural festival, she'd formed a group with her friends, and had announced that they would perform some light music on a temporary stage. Was she part of the light music club, or is that just for this festival? I don't know. This is the music room. She had prepared and practiced for this over and over until today, always anxiously awaiting this day's arrival. But there was one thing that worried her. I wonder if she plays an instrument or if she's going to be singing. She looked at the clock. There was still little time, but she felt uneasy. Would that person really come? After taking a single deep breath, her heart jumped when all her friends suddenly started speaking in shrill voices. Who does she want to come? Cannon? Shannon? One of her parents, maybe? It'd be very sweet if she was hoping for, like Natsuhi or Kraus to come see her. But who knows, maybe it's Cannon, her crush or something. I really hope I'm not misremembering about Jessica having a crush on Cannon, because that's going to be really weird if I keep talking about it and it wasn't a thing. A glasses beast. I feel like it's going to be hoping for Cannon to show up, because all the boyfriend talk. But would Cannon be able to, maybe, you think Cannon goes to the same school? I don't know how that works. It may not be like this for all girls, but at least at Jessica's school, the cultural festival was basically a boyfriend exhibition. Jessica didn't have a boyfriend. She had many friends of the opposite sex, but no special only one. But Jessica was a little famous around the school, and everyone thought it'd be natural for her to have a fitting partner. Furthermore, her pride had led her to pretend that this was true. She'd somehow managed to keep them fooled until this year. But for various reasons, she hadn't been able to escape this year's cultural festival. So she's famous around the school. She's popular. I wonder why she hasn't had any luck with boys. I mean, to the point where she's breaking down in her room about it. Has she really? I don't know. Let's see. We'll see.
ジェシー、彼氏来た？いや、まだ来てねえみてえだぜ。
Oh, so you've been just straight up lying to them about it. Because that's the school uniform?
仕事忙しいのかな？
Interesting color for school uniform. Yeah.
ジェシーの彼氏、どんな人なの？せめてヒントだけでも出してよ。何系？何系？すごいよね。社会人なんでしょ？スーツとかで来る？もちろんメガネかけてるよね。
What is it with them and glasses? Glasses wearing beasts?
ねえ、でも本当はいないんだよね。
How did you
今
know?
素直に白状したら私の仲間に入れてあげるって。一緒にこの文化祭を涙で濡らそうよ。
You should definitely come clean and cry with your buddies.
いや、いる、本当にいるって。
Don't dig yourself deeper into the hole. Jessica's bitter smile was covered with cold sweat. It was starting to seem doubtful whether she had really deceived her sharp-witted friends. Now she's waiting for someone to show up. Did she ask someone to pretend for her?
はい。なら彼氏さんの偽物を
Yeah.
立てて連れて行くとい
Okay,
うのは
so
どうで
is
し
she
ょうか。
waiting for Cannon to show up to pretend to be her boyfriend?
偽物？誰を？そんなのの心当たりねえぜ。
Maybe this is what kind of sparks her infatuation with him. Shannon's ridiculous plans surprised Jessica into hysterics. Even so, it was probably more realistic than the crazy methods running through her head about getting a boyfriend in the big rush before the cultural festival.
例えばですが、カノン君なんてどうでしょう。カノン君？ダメ。ていうか、きっとカノン君文化祭の日は仕事に決まってるぜ。
I don't know how the servants deal with school stuff. Maybe they get taught outside of things and they don't go to like a public school type of situation, or not public school, but just, maybe they get like tutored.
迷惑かけちゃ悪いしさ。もちろん予定表も確認済みです。カノン君はその日お休みになっています。こんな時ばっかり容量がいいのな。
Jessica rocking a double fang right now? A fang on each side? That's a rarity.
じゃなくて、休みならもっと悪いぜ。せっかくの休みを私の見栄のために引っ張り出せないよ。カノン君は引っ張り出されないといっつも閉じこもってばかりいますので。
Oh yeah, tell her it's for Cannon's
無理に
sake.
引っ張り回すくらいでちょうどいいかと思いますよ。
That's a new face for Jessica.
そうなの？いや、でもカノン君に悪い。なら晩作つきますね。おとなしく彼氏はいませんと白状なされてはいかがでしょうか。
No way.
それは肩身の狭い思いよな。卒業までの短くも長い間を耐え忍ばれるだけでございますし、
Short and yet long.
愛し合う恋人同士にとって独り者のひがみ顔が何にも勝る甘い蜜なのです。
Oh my god, Shannon with the manipulation.
シャノン、私のために本気で悩んでないでしょ。おちょくってるでしょ。
Jessica wrestled about with Shannon, her eyes teary, but Shannon was unfazed, laughing with her usual smile.
はい。
Oh, it's so great that these guys can be
私とジョージ様のことを茶化してばか
best
りのお
friends
嬢
like
様へ
this.
の仕返しです。
Listening to Shannon's comeback, the likes of which didn't happen even once a year, Jessica hugged her cushion and rolled around on her bed, pretending to faint in agony. She couldn't stand Shannon's smile, which looked so triumphant, but right now, she was the only person Jessica could talk with. She could choke her to death with her cushion later.
いいじゃないですか、お嬢様。文化祭ではありますが、カノン君と一緒に遊びに行くチャンスですよ。いや、それはそうだけど。いや。
Jessica buried her head in her favorite pillow to hide the fact that her face had grown bright red. And she grumpily chewed at the fingernail on her thumb. It really was a reaction to be appreciated. Shannon and Jessica were of about the same age, of the same sex, and friends. And they were both right in the middle of puberty. They could never talk about love. That's why they could talk freely about these topics to each other. So Jessica had heard a lot about how Shannon and George's love was progressing, and Shannon had heard a lot about what type Jessica liked and what kind of man she might be interested in. Judging by Jessica's reaction, it'd probably be rude for us to go into precisely what these things were. However, this story won't get anywhere if we just have Jessica rolling around forever, so let's dive in. That's suddenly the narrator's got some personality. Jessica had been thinking about Cannon ever since he'd shown up. It was extremely rare for young men to visit Rakanjima, so maybe it was natural for Jessica, a girl in puberty, to develop an interest in Cannon. But if anyone said that, it would destroy the romantic ideals of a maiden's pure heart and love at first sight. Shannon had been with Cannon a long time at the orphanage, so she'd known him since before they started working. So Jessica had asked persistently about what his hobbies were, what his favorite food was, what type of girl he liked. Even to Shannon, it was clear that Jessica was infatuated with Cannon.
もう、カノン君をデートに連れ出せるいい機会じゃありませんか。でも、カノン君にだって好きな人とかいるかもしれないし。
Oh, Jessica.
私なんかの見えっ張りに付き合わせたら気を悪くするぜ。お嬢様のような素直じゃない方を何でしたっけ、ジョージ様に習いました。あ、そう、ツンドラとか言うそうですよ。
ツンドラ？
あと十数年かすると流行るんだそうですよ。へえ、さすがジョージ兄さんだな。未来のトレンドがわかるのかよ。すげえぜ。じゃなくってことは、私ってタイプは時代がずれてるってことじゃねえかよ。
いや。
もうダメだ。
Oh my god. It took several days of wasted efforts, but in the end, Jessica agreed to the plan of having Cannon pretend to be her boyfriend. Oh, okay, I was wondering if we were going to skip over her asking. Guess we get to see.
はい、お嬢様。お呼びでしょうか。
He's always so cold and emotionless. Let's see if this gets a reaction out of him. Jessica regretted calling out at such a bad time. Cannon always looked sullen, but he had some bad days and some better days. Unfortunately, this reaction was the former.
いや、そのさ、
All that confidence and effort she'd built up practicing in front of a mirror all night was wiped out in about 5 seconds. Jessica turned bright red and hung her head. When he saw that, Cannon sighed. Jessica thought that he was exasperated with her, and her face went pale.
シャノンから聞いています。
Oh.
お嬢様の学校の文化祭へお供するようにというお話ですか。
Shannon jumped the gun and told him already. He doesn't seem too excited.
シャノンナイスじゃなくて
Oh my god, Jessica.
そうなんだけどすま当日の予定はどうかな。
シャノンから当日は特にお嬢様にお仕えするよう。
Oh, now it's an order. Jessica's gonna feel a way about
僕は
that.
高校には行ったことがないのでわかりませんが。
Okay, so maybe they're not even tutored. It's just that they stopped their education after junior high school.
何でも男性の付き人がいないと大変肩身が狭い場だとか。後宮本家令嬢が庶民に劣ることがあってはならないと特に厳命されておりますので。
シャノン後で
Oh boy. Jessica kept yelling with a strange voice and a broken smile, like a tea kettle filled with boiling water. As Cannon watched this, he sighed again. Cannon wasn't an idiot either. He fully understood what Jessica intended by inviting him. But to be honest, playing along with Jessica's love game seemed like it'd be nothing more than an annoyance to him. So is that implying he also understands that Jessica is interested in him romantically? However, Shannon had asked him over and over. He was deeply indebted to her, so he couldn't refuse. And that brooch was in his pocket. Could this strange turn of events have been brought about by the magic power residing in this brooch? Ridiculous. But he remembered what Shannon had said to him that day. Could Shannon see something he couldn't? I don't understand Shannon's feelings. We are furniture. As if we could ever become anything more. It was a truly odd exchange between Jessica, who was still rambling on in a strange voice, and Cannon, who sighed deeply. Are we going to skip ahead to the festival? Yep.
ジェシー人が来てるよ。
Alright.
聞こえてないの？
Now I'm curious what he's going to be wearing.
ごめん。
I don't think we've ever seen the servants outside of their servants' uniforms.
誰？
As my friends all gathered together, they were looking this way with hard-to-describe expressions, whispering to each other in small voices that weren't small anymore. My attempt to play dumb felt pretty transparent, even to me. Did I really just say, sorry, who is it? Like I don't know who just showed up. It's useless. Useless. My mind's going blank.
嘘、あれジェシの彼氏。
What are you wearing? What kind of fucking jacket? Is that just make him look all adult like?
本当に彼氏いたんだ。マジ嘘本当？ジェシカの裏切り
You traitor.
者。すっごい素敵じゃん。年下？年下なんて聞いてないよ。
Oh my god.
どこ？ジェシの彼氏ってどこ？嘘だって本当？
Into little kids. Oh my god.
いや遅かったじゃねえかよ。
Take a deep breath, Jessica.
昇降口がわからなかったもので遅くなって申し訳ございません。
な、その格好も似合ってるぜ。
シャノンが普段着では良くないと言って先日一緒に買い物を。似合いませんでしたでしょうか。
I mean, I get not wanting to wear, the servant garb. Obviously, you can't wear that to play her boyfriend, but normal clothes wouldn't do, huh?
そんなことないよ。
Oh man, the nervous laughing is killing me.
シャノン、後で2階級特進。
なんだかここは女の人ばかりで居心地が悪いです。
だよな。ささ、ここじゃなくてステージの方に行こうぜ。もうすぐ私たちの出番だからさ。
I'm still curious what part of the
さ。
the music group she's playing. Jessica seemed just as uncomfortable. It looked like being bathed in everyone's interested gazes was hard on her. When he saw Jessica's appearance, Cannon thought he might have made things difficult for her by coming.
なんだか迷惑をおかけしているような気がします。
No, man, she's just
お
nervous.
邪魔だったでしょうか。
No.
そんなことないって。
僕がお邪魔でしたらいつでも言ってくだされば。
Someone will have to tell me. I thought boku was quite common for guys. Why are they so surprised by that? He
僕
is
はどうし
younger.
ていればいいでしょうか、お嬢様。
お嬢って呼ばせてるの？羊系来たこれ。
Oh no, they didn't talk about how to. Jesus.
今日はお嬢様はラーメン。
Boyfriend calling their girlfriend Ojo-sama.
そうですか。わかりました、ジェシカ様。
しつけ済みの様付けだ。
Jesus.
ごめん、カノン君。3秒でいいから目つぶっててくれるかな。キスするよ。
Yeah, I don't think that's what's happening. Jeez, what is going on back there?
ではつまります。
Oh. Is she like beating up her friends? What is going on? By the time Cannon opened his eyes, a horrible tragedy had occurred in the room. Everyone had been driven into the walls, their arms and legs outstretched. Jessica had slipped her brass knuckles back into her pocket before Cannon's eyes opened.
とにかくステージの方に行こ
What
う。
the hell?
私たちの出番はもうすぐだからしばらく席で待っててよ。私たちは準備あるからさ。この先突き当たりまで行けば仮設舞台があるからわかるぜ。そこで待ってて。
She pushed Cannon's back, and as he seemed to be having trouble moving himself, and chased him out. Even though Cannon was confused by Jessica's attitude and her panicky state, which he'd never seen before, he followed her instructions and headed in the direction as she had indicated. After seeing him off with an awkward smile, Jessica slammed the door shut and yelled loudly.
ささ、見たね。見たでしょ。満足した。ざまあねえぜ。
Fuck you guys.
賭けに負 けた。絶対ジェシに彼氏なんかいないと思ってたのに。彼氏じゃないんでしょ。使用人へのパワハラでしょ。
Well, you're a little too smart for your own good.
ジェシの彼氏素敵だお。いやかましいぜ。ほらほら、準備。
What's wrong with the compliments? Don't tell him to shut up. When Jessica took the brass knuckles out of her pocket again, everyone energetically returned to their tasks. Oh my. What is even happening? This is so bizarre compared to episode 1. That entire scene was nothing like anything the game has had so far. They just went bonkers. Cannon went down the corridor Jessica had shown him and ran into a temporary stage set up where the vending machines should have been. It was probably being rented by the hour by some group or club. The ones singing were student groups, but the crowd was still incredibly excited. Disliking that clatter, he leaned against a wall in the darkness by himself. So this is what they call high school. It sure is noisy. That's what Cannon thought. Then he remembered Jessica just now, acting in a way that he'd never seen before. Honestly, she was in such high spirits that alcohol might have been involved. To him, remaining composed and intellectual at all times was the highest virtue. In that sense, it was very hard for Cannon to get used to the atmosphere of a school cultural festival. He had a responsibility to report everything he saw and heard to the master. So he also had to report about how Jessica had acted without restraint earlier. Really? Does the master care? I assume he's talking about Kinzo, not Genji, but does Kinzo want to know about the school cultural festival, or is he busy with more important things? At the very least, it was not fitting for the daughter of the Ushiramiya head family. The master, Kraus-sama. Oh, okay. Oh, no, yeah, okay. He wasn't saying the master Kraus-sama, he was saying the master and Kraus-sama. And especially Natsuhi-sama will probably be angry. If I am to report it in a way that protects my lady, should I blame it on inappropriate school friends? Come on, Cannon, just say she had fun. Cannon thought back on how Jessica had acted earlier and sighed again. He could understand Natsuhi's headache a little now. Come to think of it, Natsuhi-sama, as the president of the PTA, was supposed to go to an informal gathering after attending the ceremony in the gymnasium. Natsuhi's president of the PTA, huh? Okay. She said she wouldn't be able to see Milady perform, didn't she? That's probably for the best. What do you mean? Maybe she's good. Oh, best for her headache with the crowds? Is that what you mean? Several female students kept glancing at me. It seems they're all whispering the same things Milady's school friends said, and it's truly unpleasant. Come to think of it, didn't Shannon warn me? If you walk alone at something like a school festival, you'd better watch out, because lots of strange people will come and talk to you.
お一人ですか?
Just as expected, a group of girls I'd never met started talking to me. Their stares started to make my back tingle. Didn't she tell me some magic words that could chase them off in times like this?
すみません。連れがいますので。
You're making it out like they're suspicious types. They're just teenage girls that see an attractive guy. That's all.
そうですか。ごめんなさい。
Ah, it worked. Instant reaction. Well, that got rid of him, but it hasn't really changed the number of people staring at me.
違うよ、あの子だよ、ジェシーの彼氏。嘘。あの子が？信じらんないよね。絶対にエアだと思ってたよ。
Man, everyone thought Jessica was faking
可
it.
愛いじゃん。年下？いいなぁ。
There's no way I'll ever come to a place like this again. Kenan sighed for about the zillionth time that day. When he did, the lighting changed and the standing audience started cheering. He looked around and realized that there was suddenly a large group of people there, and unlike earlier, they were mostly guys. With this huge crowd, he couldn't even see the stage. Fortunately, there was a fallen beer case nearby, so he tried using that as a footstool. When he did, he realized that there was now a new group on the stage. Their leader was Milady. It's so weird saying Milady over and over again. Just tipping a fedora in my mind every time. She's changed into stage clothes, and she's even holding a guitar. I didn't even know she could play. Then again, maybe she can play. I've seen her practicing air guitar before. Well, that's not anything. That doesn't mean anything. So, guitar, huh? Natsuhi-sama wouldn't approve of any hobbies outside of study. Maybe she was always practicing in secret. I mean, you can't practice air guitar in secret. She would need an actual guitar. But Natsuhi won't approve anything other than study? I mean, learning things like an instrument can be really beneficial. That's not really a... Surprised she would consider something like that a waste of time. I feel like rich and or, well-off kids are... It's usually like the stereotype that well-off rich kids are always practicing some instrument, right? You have to take your piano lessons. That kind of thing. Come to think of it, she's been returning really late from school recently, hasn't she? Okay, so practicing at school. Practicing at school far away from Natsuhi-sama's prying eyes. It really is for the best that Natsuhi didn't come. If Milady were to get scolded by Natsuhi-sama after putting so many hours of practice in, she'd probably be dejected. Oh my god. She really is popular, huh? Explosion. Do we get a CG of this? Maybe not. A Jessie guitar CG would be awesome. I could hear Jessica-sama's forceful voice through the speakers. Jessie-sama. Maybe that's her nickname at school. The students in the audience kept calling out that name. I'm a little offended by that crude name. It's inappropriate for Milady. Jessica-sama was in high spirits as they kept shouting, "Jessie-sama!" Everyone here was probably a fan. Her mic performance picked up on that and electrified them even more. Yeah, if Natsuhi was here, she'd easily be able to tell that Jessica had been spending time practicing a guitar. It was almost like a music program on TV. At first, he thought this was all silly, but that feeling had changed into appreciation. It was incredible in its own way. Kenan never listened to music of his own free will, but he'd often heard the kind of music the Yoshimiya family liked. Since it was almost all classical, Kenan had naturally taken a liking to that kind of music. So to Kenan, the song Jessica sang was, how should you say it, extremely colorful. In any case, if Natsuhi-sama heard it, she'd probably faint. What? Sorry? Excuse me? Okay, so this is the old original art. I'm going to assume there just wasn't an upgraded CG made for this. I hope something didn't go wrong. Sure, I'll just run with it. I'm going to assume this is what it should be. But everyone looked like they were having a really good time. Some diehard fans, who had even brought pen lights, sang along and danced crazily with the same movements, almost as though it had been planned ahead. On the stage, Jessica-sama also sang enthusiastically, dripping with sweat. He couldn't find a single element that was appropriate for a daughter of the Oshiro Miya family. Whenever I say that fast, I say Oshida Miya family. Oshiro Miya. But it looked like so much fun. Again today, behind me, the sound of footsteps. Oyashiro-sama is stalking me. Curses, disappearances, sacrifices, torture. Onikakushi, does that make a good snack? I guess it's the lyrics? Don't say Marisa. It's probably the lyrics. Right. So that was a thing that happened. I must not go along with it, but at any rate, milady is full of life and looks like she's having a great time. Right, so you can't report this. You can't ruin this canon. If you report everything, you have to say that she's fully, fully able to play guitar and stuff. You're gonna ruin it for her. As I watched milady enjoying herself, I thought, could this be Oshiro Miya, Jessica's true nature? I don't know if I was saying that wrong before, but now I'm catching myself. Oshiro Miya, not Ushida Miya. Don't I know better than anyone that during her life on Rokkenjima, she had no choice but to kill her sense of self. So the time she spends, not as milady, successor to the Oshiro Miya family, but as a single girl called Jessica, living life to the fullest, must be very important to her. I've worked close to milady, seeing her in all seasons, and thought I knew everything about her. But that was all limited to one side of her, the milady of Rokkenjima. We are furniture. We serve on Rokkenjima and end our lives on Rokkenjima. So I've come to think of Rokkenjima itself as our whole world. As though, like in Ptolemaic theory, the ocean spilled off of the end of the world into the abyss. But when I looked at milady like this, I can see how horribly narrow that outlook is. I still can't go along with the excitement of the crowd, but I feel like I could see something that cannot be seen on Rokkenjima. Oh, huh? Is that love you may have? Because, right? That's the thing? Without love, cannot be seen? I remember. I'm not sure if this is the unseeable thing Shannon was talking about, but the ocean still doesn't look blue to me. Right, and to clarify, I don't mean love for Jessica, but maybe a fond way of looking at the situation and Jessica breaking out and overcoming that entire, life of being stuck on the island, just making something else of things. All right. Okay. That could not be a more perfect stopping point. We did the full cultural festival in this episode, and we will pick up and see the aftermath at night afterwards. And hopefully things don't go wrong. But I'm kind of scared that maybe Kraus or Natsuhi are going to learn about what happened, and Jessica will get scolded, and things could go bad. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, we'll find out next time. Thank you for joining me on my Umineko journey, and we will continue soon. Thank you. Goodbye.